Hey, welcome back to the channel. I've noticed that quite a few of my subscribers are just getting into woodworking, so I thought what I'd do today is go over how to select your first set of tools to get you going. So let's get right into it. Okay, the first question you might ask yourself on the power tools is, do I do corded or cordless? That's a complicated answer because it depends on what you're going to be doing. If you're going to be doing a lot of high production stuff, like cranking out a lot of different products that you're going to be selling, then I would say you want to set up your shop with corded tools. You're not going to be really mobile, you're going to be stationary, cranking out products. So a corded tool, less expensive, lower maintenance costs generally, so corded would be a good option in that scenario. Now, if you're going to be going out on the job to like your customer's location, say handyman type work where you're just doing a few things at their home, cordless is definitely the way to go. Let's get right into the cordless tools that I recommend and that I use every day. Okay, well, one of the first tools that I'm going to mention, which is probably fairly obvious, would be a cordless drill. And this particular brand that I use is Milwaukee, and it's the 18-volt fuel system that they have. And I've got Milwaukee tools in both the 18-volt and the 12-volt systems. All the tools that I use most every day are going to be the 18-volt system, like this one here. And the second tool that I would recommend, circular saw. And on this circular saw, this actually accepts a 7¼ inch blade, which is the same size as a full-size corded saw. The reason I like that size blade is there's a lot of different choices for blades that you can get, from ripping blades for doing framing type material to fine tooth blades for working with plywood or finer materials. So those are the two power tools that I would start off with as a beginner. Now, there are a lot of choices in cordless tools out there, and there's a lot of really good brands. I happen to like the Milwaukee because all the different options that Milwaukee offers. They tend to offer more specialized tools than the other brands, but other brands that are really good that I would look into also are DeWalt. Rigid at Home Depot is a very good brand. Craftsman, if you're going to be more just home type stuff, Craftsman is fine. But one thing that I want to mention also is there are a lot of companies that make battery adapters. So you can use batteries from one brand in another brand. And let me show you an example of that. Here's a DeWalt Sawzall that I have. I've had it for years, and I started off with DeWalt because they were really the big cordless battery tool company at the time, but I've since kind of shifted over to Milwaukee because of more selection. Batteries tend to last better. And DeWalt originally started off with a NiCad and stayed with NiCad longer than Milwaukee did, so I went to Milwaukee because it's got a lithium battery. Very good option over in NiCad. But I wanted to show you how I've got the adapter on this tool so that I can take the Milwaukee battery, plug it right in, works just fine. They typically have battery adapters for, say, Milwaukee to Rigid, Milwaukee to DeWalt, DeWalt to Milwaukee. I mean, there's a good selection out there. I would suggest staying with one particular brand, but you don't necessarily have to, is all I'm trying to point out. Now, basic hand tools. I think this is going to be pretty straightforward, but we'll start off with, first thing you really want is tape measure. I like the Stanley Fat Max tape measures because this 25-foot tape measure, I can actually extend it out about 11.5 feet before the tape folds. So it's really good if you're going to be working by yourself or even with another person. The Fat Max tape is a little bit better than most tapes. So another hand tool I would recommend is Speed Square. And basically, this is very good, especially if you're just going to have a skill saw or circular saw to do your cuts with. This is very good for drawing a straight line on your material. So that's Speed Square. And this is a 6-inch. You can get them 6-inch or 12-inch. I would start off with the 6. It's easier to handle. Want a hammer? And this is an old Estwing that I have. I've had this thing for 25 years or so. You notice it's a good quality hammer with a steel shank, and it's all one piece basically. It's a one-piece forging, super, super tough hammer. You'll probably never buy another hammer unless you lose it. I want to get an assortment of chisels. You know, because you're going to be doing some work with a chisel from time to time. So I would say just start off with a few chisels. That I would say would probably be your basic hand tool set to start off with. Now, of course, you know, once you get going, you're going to also want clamps, you know, like this wall of clamps that I've got here. You know, eventually if you start doing glue ups and stuff, you'll definitely want some clamps. And actually just working with material, you want some clamps. And, you know, eventually you want to branch out and, you know, get a drill press. And of course, if you want to branch out even more, then you might need like a vacuum setup, like the vacuum setup that I've got here. And again, this is a home shop that I set up. And then, of course, you want to get some nail guns eventually. Nail guns are in there. And then, of course, over time, you're going to build stuff. Like I built this miter saw table a couple of weeks ago. And here's all the tools that I was just showing you for this particular video. And then back here, especially if you're going to be doing handyman type stuff, these bin organizers are just invaluable because they're filled with various screws, plumbing parts, electrical parts, whatever you're going to get into. But it's a really good way to organize everything. So, and then of course, you know, ladders eventually. So just a little video today just to kind of help you select your first power tools. And like I said, I think over the years, I've really relied more heavily on my cordless tools than I have my corded. Even when we were doing production stuff in the shop, we would always, like if we had to drill something, if it was handy, we'd grab the cordless drill. It's just faster setup and everything. So anyway, I think that'd be a really good start. Get yourself a really nice cordless drill, a cordless circular saw, and of course you want some drill bits and some specialty bits so you can use the drill as a screwdriver as well. That'll be a lot more versatile. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this video today, and please hit the subscribe button if you liked what you saw, and please put comments in and make suggestions for other videos that you'd like to see, because I will make videos to answer your questions if I can. Anyway, have a great day and see you on the next one.